Welcome to Driven AF Recovery. Once again, I'm laughing. Howdy, it's Thursday night. We're here, I got Dennis, Josh, Steven, Maddie, pretty much the regulars these days. We had a alumni group tonight, which it seems like we're stealing topics from a lot, but I liked it. It was something Mr. James that was on here before, I don't know if he said his last name, so I'm not going to say it now, but had brought up in our chat, and it was somebody had posed a question to him that was a sponsee or someone in his recovery group asking what's the point of fucking recovery.
It specifically was, what's the fucking point?
Yes,
Like that. That should be the name for
struggling to see what the point of staying sober is. And I had some answers. I think we all got some answers. Alumni was kind of a mixed bag of answers, but I'll start it off with this saying, I had a couple things. I mean, we can gloss over all the shit like I'm sick of being sick, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired, all that bullshit, which is all true.
Yeah.
But I honestly think I was like that all along, and I didn't go to fucking treatment. I didn't really try to stop. Not very hard.
That wasn't enough.
Yeah. So, I mean, for me, and I'll share this, it was two big things. And this was true walking into fucking rehab here. I mean, I didn't know how I was gonna do it, but I knew two things. Like, I was sick of being defined by other people. I wanted to define myself authentically for who the fuck I am, not what other people see of me, think of me, say of me. That was a big deal to me. I was tired of that shit. I knew I couldn't do that fucking high. Yeah. Two, I wanted freedom to do all the shit that I had done before my addiction and then some, or find new routes, but freedom to do something with my fucking life beyond just skate by, barely getting to work, the iron working and fucking existing, lifting. But I mean, I was coasting with that too, and it's not good enough. Like, none of it was. I was just like, fuck. But until I get sober, I know I can barely do this shit I'm doing high, and was getting worse. I was getting worse at all that even. Well, I just thought those two things got to change. Like, and the only way it changes is if I fucking stop getting fucked up and get into recovery. Maybe I can start to be who I really am and not feel bad about it.
Yeah.
Two, I'd be free to fucking pursue shit that actually mattered to me. Both of which things have definitely panned out somewhat. So, I don't know, my thoughts anyway. Yeah. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I mean, kind of like Maddie was saying, like, everybody's got, like, their personal, like, points to do this shit, but I mean, you know, there's the very common answers of, like, of course, yeah, like, I'm tired of going to prison, I'm tired of getting arrested, I'm tired of fucking waking up dope sick, like, yeah, that all fucking sucks, you know? But as you said, that didn't fucking work, like, and those consequences, you know, were had for a very long time and nothing changed, so, like, for me, it was kind of, like, comes back to almost what you're talking about, like, I don't know, I didn't want to leave a legacy of just being a dope fiend and a crackhead, you know what I mean? Like, I was tired of being known as a dope fiend and a crackhead, you know, so I didn't want that to be all I'd ever be known for. I didn't really know how I was gonna do it, but I also, like, I really hated who I was the last few years. I just was really tired of feeling like that, you know, and I wanted something better. I didn't really know how to get it or if I was even capable of it. But that was kind of the start, and like we talked about tonight, like, it's evolved greatly. Like, you know, we call it like our whys, but like in the beginning, I didn't have that figured out. I don't think anybody has like your purpose or your fucking why figured out right off the bat, but it was, you know, brought to my attention that I should start thinking about, you know, like what I want for me and why I really want to stay clean. And I have, and that's evolved. So, like for probably everybody at this table, I have several whys now, but like the point to keep like that kept me going when I was at, like, you know, Jimmy was talking about, like, you know, the 3 or 4 month mark where, like, you know, you've had a little bit of time, you've gotten your shit back, right, like you got a decent job, you know, you have a bank account, right, you're starting to live like a pretty somewhat normal adult life, you know, you get up, you go to work, you pay your bills, whatever, but like, you know, and then things start to suck and you're like, what the fuck?
Frustration sets in because you're not where you want to be yet.
Right, what's the fucking point? Right, you know, you start thinking like this still fucking sucks. And for me, like, how I combated that, how I still combat that, even though I don't like get like that anymore, it's just like, dude, like, my vision, like, for what I want for my life is, you know, I've got a pretty detailed idea, as you two definitely know, and you probably have a good idea of what I want my future to look like. And I know that smoking crack and getting dope doesn't align with and can't coexist with it, you know, so. At this point, like, it's pretty easy, but early on, you know, it was just like, dude, like, I know I don't want that, I know I want something better, and I don't wanna die a dope fiend, so like, that kept me going, and then, you know, you set like, small little goals, and you start to achieve them, and I created a little bit of like self-esteem and self-worth, and I was like, hey, like, why the fuck not, like, maybe I can do this shit, and then, you know, some more whys developed, and some more purpose, in my life, and, yeah. And no desire, I mean, no desire to go back, so.
Yeah.
What do you guys?
It started out very simple for me.
You caught that too?
I was kind of giving him the side eye, like, you want to go? I got it. No, when I first got here, it started out very simple for me that I wanted to learn, because obviously what I was doing wasn't working out. I was just sitting in a house by myself, drinking myself to death, basically. And I knew for certain that didn't work. So the ways to figure out what is going to work is by learning new things. And so that was it. For my first 28 days being sober, I wanted to learn as much as I could so I could start to formulate my why, or my reason for wanting to be sober and living in recovery. And like you said, and others have mentioned tonight, that it evolves, and naturally it should, I think. And just like any normal person, if you want to call them that, their goals, their vision, their why for why they live evolves based on their successes, their failures, and it's a constant moving target. And I don't think it's ever something I want to finalize or reach, or have that perfection that people are always seeking. I don't want that, because that has a finality to it. I always want something.
There's no
more.
fucking finish line.
Exactly.
Like, there's no destination, there's
Yeah.
no finish line, like, there's no end game. Like, it's just, we wanna keep getting better. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, and that's a huge point. And someone else said that in alumni tonight, that it's about the journey, not the destination. You slept up at first, but.
Right. Yeah, but that got me thinking
Yeah.
too, though, when he said that, I'm like, what fucking destination?
Yeah,
Like,
no,
I
like.
don't have a destination, like, I wanna keep seeing what I can accomplish, you know what I mean? And
There
keep seeing
isn't
what I
really a
can fucking do.
destination, I don't think. Honestly, I don't think that exists.
Yeah, I don't know, maybe an island somewhere where nobody's, you know.
Even that's temporary.
Well, I would say even that, maybe
Like
to
perfection's
to
on
own an
paper,
island.
so is the
That
destination.
might be a destination to try to own one day, but I'm not
Even
gonna
then,
live
what are
there
you gonna
forever
do?
by myself.
Stop like moving once that happens. I don't think that's the
That's
case,
what I mean.
man.
Like that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. Like, I don't. To me, I mean, it's like, if there's a finish line, like, what happens if you reach that finish line like 10, 20 years ahead of schedule? Then what?
You're done, like, and then you're stuck there.
You
I
know,
think
just
that's
done?
like Andy Priscilla said. That's why you see some of the millionaires fucking killing themselves, because they lose all purpose except for fucking spending their money drinking and getting high.
Right.
And they have zero to fucking go on, even though they're successful as fuck at one point.
Right.
They need the
Yeah.
next mission. Jocko says that too with soldiers. You have to have the next mission, or you're not gonna fucking have any reason to be disciplined or move forward with shit.
Mhm.
I fully agree with that. Take it at any tack you want. It's business, military. I mean, it just is. Like, you hit one thing, you're gonna have to fucking set your sights on something else.
I mean, just like guys like in early recovery, it's like, or even if you've been in recovery a while, like, if you have a plan and goals and a vision, right? But they only go so far, and you're not sitting there working on coming up with something bigger picture, or you haven't thought about it. Like, once you hit those goals, you're just gonna be like, okay, cool. You know, got the job back, or got a decent job, you know, got a decent car, got a decent house, got my family back, like.
Well, that's where the evolution thing everybody was talking about has to happen, man. You get to a point, it's gotta evolve in some direction.
Right, there's always something else you can do or change. I mean, you know, we lived a junkie lifestyle for so long, and then we made that change. So, you know, when you reach that goal, just, even if it's just picking some random new thing.
Yeah, like
And
this
tackle
YouTube
that.
channel. Is how that started.
Right, you know, just anything,
It is.
anything, just to see where it leads or where it goes, you know? You may not be interested you know, after trying it, or you may find, you know, a whole new fucking journey with that.
Right.
What was the point for you, like, when you were, obviously not necessarily when you first got in the door, cause I mean,
Yeah.
anything, we always say, like, whatever gets you in the door, but like, after a couple months, like, what was the point for you?
Well, I
I
mean,
know it's going back pretty far for you.
I know what you know, what the fuck.
I meant he's been clean about it, damn, I didn't mean
I'm
to
taking
old.
shots because he's my boy. I'm older, but you know.
I know I was definitely in that, you know, what the fuck's the point? You know, even when I came in the doors here. And I think even within the 30 days, you know, the only why I could come up with was I just want to find a reason to not want to die. You know, because when I came in, that was my goal. I just want to die. I had no self-worth, no self-purpose. I hated myself. You know, I just come from the hospital from, you know, committing suicide by overdose. I didn't want to live. You know what I mean? I mean, like, it had been such a fucking shitty life prior to that. You know, I mean, losing custody of my son when I was a single dad, while, you know, watching my dad die in front of me, like. So, like, to me, it was like, that's all I wanted to do was die. So when I got here, I guess the only thing that I can actually, like, muster up enough energy to do was just look for a reason to not want to die. And that was pretty much my goal for, I'd say, the first, you know, the good first 90 days, you know, the first 30 here, and, you know, a couple months when I went into sober living. I was just, you know, going through the motions as far as, you know, I was going to work, I was going to the meetings, you know, an abundance of meetings. And then
Just doing what you're.
yeah, just doing everything
suggesting.
to look for some kind of like hope, some kind of reason to like, okay, this is why I want to live.
How long were you clean, do you think, before you found that? I mean, obviously, I know you know,
I
like,
think I know this.
your why now. That's what I'm saying, I didn't know you that early in recovery, I've known you for a few
Well,
years
you
now.
know,
but I didn't know you.
well, I guess that's not a tricky, it's like, there's so many different, I mean, there's so many different answers to that question.
Okay, I'm saying, like, what was initially, like, that you found, if you can remember? Like I said, I know we're talking years back now, because you've been clean for quite a while, like,
Yeah.
you remember what it was initially that you were like, alright, this is why, you know,
Like
like
your
you
4 years is
pointed.
like right now-ish, isn't it?
Yeah, so, when's your 4 years?
I don't know.
We'll get you a cake with a male stripper.
It's
That's what
today.
I thought.
Well, I mean, I know, like, I started finding, like, my whys, like, I started hanging out with Doc outside of work. So, like, I started realizing that, like, I could have, like, fucking healthy relationships and friends, you know, because obviously we all know, like, you know, when we were using, I wasn't really your friend, you know. Either you had something to offer me, or I didn't have time for you.
That's what I was gonna ask if it's when, like, you started working with Doc or for Doc, kind of.
Yeah, I think when I started working with Doc, you know, and just like, just talking to, you know, to people that like wanted to see good shit for me and didn't want shit in return. You know, going to alumni, you know, that was a big thing. 'Cause I remember, like, even when I started, like, you know, talking to Maddie, talking to Wesley, there was another one.
JoJo?
No, JoJo came after me.
That came after you?
Yeah, well after, actually.
Yeah. But,
I'm trying to think,
the guy with the truck, Maria's husband,
Justin.
Justin. You know, like the three main guys that I remember. You know, I mean, talking to him, like I was, you know, and I don't want to give him a big head, but you know, I would look forward to alumni, you know, because I said, you know, I'd always, right after alumni, I'd fucking seek him out and start talking to him.
This is fact, and I enjoyed it.
Yeah, you know, it was like, those were like my whys. I just started finding like little things like that, like having a conversation with somebody that, you know, gave a fuck about me and didn't really even know that much about me.
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking for a fucking reason to live, that seems like a pretty good one.
Yeah. And like you said, just over time, the whys just started piling up.
Yeah.
I mean, now you do that very thing for fucking guys everywhere all the time just because you're you,
Yeah.
which is great. It's fucking amazing.
I would have never
I love
thought that.
seeing it, like watching it happen. Like that's my boy.
I mean, like, who would have thought any of us, who would have thought, you know, that we would get the privilege of like fucking being a changing factor in somebody's life for the better instead of,
It is
you
pretty
know.
far fucking unfair.
Right, I
I
mean,
didn't really think about it, and all four of us do that now. That just occurred to me. We're all fucking.
Right. Normally we're helping somebody ruin their lives.
Yeah, right.
Dude, like you did that for me. Like a lot of the reason why I do what I do and where I'm at in my life currently is because of opportunities that you have directly given me and advice that you and now Maddie has kind of taken on that role, and my whys are evolving to seek out more knowledge so I can better myself, because I'm starting to notice like my guys are coming to me for that.
That's what
And it's
happens.
like, what is going on? Like, I'm still trying to get that from these guys, and then all of these guys are coming to me, and it's like I'm caught in the middle. But it's another opportunity to like maintain that balance.
That never changes.
Exactly,
Yeah.
and it's
I still
so
learn from Doc. I still
cool.
learn from Dennis. I still learn
Yeah,
from
vice
Fisher.
versa. Yeah, we're
Like,
always.
it's
you know,
always a
each
give and
other.
take. Like the
Awesome.
percentage, whatever it is. But fuck it, man.
No, but it's really cool to like be in between that, because like I'm learning so much, because they also don't realize that they're teaching me stuff. Like me getting that opportunity to answer their questions, like it gives me insight. So, and like better practice, at the very least, better practice for the next guy.
Let me ask
And
you
it's
this.
something I appreciate.
For all of you guys, actually, but since you're talking about it, does being in that position make you walk the walk a little fine, a little harder, a little more on point? It does me.
It makes
Because
me
I'm like,
want
I
to try
can't
my
act a
hardest.
certain way, even if I want it to. I know it's fucked up, and I want to do something fucked up so bad, but I'm like, I can't, because motherfuckers are gonna see it, and that matters.
Like it would
Yeah.
be hypocritical for what I'm trying to tell
Yeah.
them. And
Right. That's what
I
I'm
don't
saying. It
like
almost
this.
makes you fucking walk the line a little better.
Right.
I said that a long time ago with like, you know, when, if you're looking, like for me, like, remember I told you however many months back it was now about that like urge I had when I was at work and I was really tired, whatever, but I felt
That's a while ago.
one of the ways, yeah, it was months ago now, but like one of the ways I was able to combat that was I was like, dude, I'm like, I go here and volunteer and do groups with these guys, you know, and I'm like, I won't be able to do that. And I was working with the jail at the time. I was like, I can't do that. So like, it does exactly what you're saying. Like, it makes you like
Yeah.
hold yourself to a little bit higher standard.
For me,
Like,
usually it's like not beating the shit out of somebody.
right.
Whatever.
I'm saying, you work in different ways. Okay?
No, I mean, yeah.
You know, you have to conduct yourself in a different manner. If you
Yeah.
want to continue to help people better their lives, you have to hold yourself to a higher standard. Because you can't fucking be a jag-off and be trying to fucking teach other people not to be a jag-off.
Someone
You can't
that's
be riding high and trying to work with people and tell them that, you know, how to teach them how to change their lives or help them change their lives.
You're acting like a dick.
Right.
Well, I mean, if you're gonna have leadership, you take on the responsibility of fucking walking that walk.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we're, you know, like and I look at, I think about that all the time, like, we're representing, you know, an idea to these guys of what they want, you know, and what they can have.
Yeah.
You know, a lifestyle that has some purpose, you know, we're representing something, you know, that they've never had. So like, I remind myself all the time, like, we all know, like, you know, these guys,
We are those guys.
I hate to compare it like this, but we are those guys, and we were also in, you know, in here as a client. So like, it's, you know, I can say this because I know I was, you know, I compare them to kids.
Well, that's true, but I was that way too.
The sponge aspect of it, though, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're gonna do what you do, not what I
Right,
say
kids are like
necessarily.
sponges, they watch everything you do, they see everything. These guys are watching everything we do, how we carry ourselves, how we act, how we represent ourselves, you know, advice that we give them, you know, whether, you know, we're sincere about what we're doing, like, you know, they're watching all this.
We all watched guys before us, man.
Right.
It's just how this fucking rolls.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, perfect example. I watched both of you two, so, you know.
Creep.
You are a creep, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, but I know, sitting up talking with you and Doc at the house, you know, fucking coming and talking to you when I was working for Youth at Children's all the time, and fucking.
I used to ride the bike over there every now and
Yeah,
again
I
at night.
do too.
That's all like, you know, like all that shit, like, that falls right back on them, you know, it's about the journey. You know?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say, like, it's like, okay, like, early on, right, you might get that feeling, like, what the fuck is the point? Cause
Yeah.
life might
I did.
not look back
I
great.
said those exact
Yeah.
words very,
Right.
very fucking loudly to myself in my head, but screaming.
Not just yourself.
I live. That's true. You definitely out loud heard that shit more than several times.
That's what I mean, like, so, like, early on, like, there's a good chance if you're early on in recovery, you're gonna get to that point, man, and just my advice to anybody at that stage is like, just stick it out and give it a chance. You know what I mean? Like, you're not gonna have everything figured out, everything's not gonna be great right off the bat, you know? There's a certain tax, right? And it takes time.
Yeah.
It's gonna take work, like, we've been fucking up our lives and now we get clean and after 3 months, we're like, what the fuck is the point? You know, and like everybody knows and says that's been a recovery, like it didn't take you fucking 3 months to burn down your life, you know, it took you how many years of doing it, so it's gonna take you
Yeah.
to rebuild it.
He
you know?
added patience level.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah,
If you get to 3 months and you're like, what the fuck, you're right. That's
I mean,
average,
I'm guilty as charged.
Yeah.
Oh,
still.
Being honest.
Every day, damn near.
You know, you know, the best thing, like, when you get to that point, I always feel like the best thing you can do is like, you know, don't try to make any decisions or come up with a fucking solution when you are in that mindset of what the fuck's the point. Because chances are the solution that you come up with is going to be some kind of fucking, you know,
Ridiculous scheme.
chaotic, yeah, like,
Sure,
you know,
you heard some of mine
validating
too.
to like go into fuck it mode solution.
You've heard several of mine.
Yeah.
But I will say, like, have people around you, man, like your friends,
The
your
connection.
mentors, whatever.
Yeah.
Because I would flip the fuck out and like loudly voice my fucking insanity.
Yeah.
And you'd be like, hold on, let's sit down and talk about it. And I may say fuck you, but I always did. And then like, it's like, fuck, you're right. I calmed down and I could actually make a fucking halfway decent decision.
Right, yeah. Utilizing the fucking, you know, having the brotherhood and the connection, you know, and
Invaluable.
yeah, the opportunity to be able to call somebody else that can look at it from an outside pair of shoes and says, you know, all right, look, here's a couple solutions, or call fucking 2, 3, 4 guys.
But you gotta be willing to make those phone calls.
Right.
But luckily we live together. But dude, anybody in a sober house has that. I mean, it wasn't exactly our situation, but it kind of was. I mean,
I mean, pretty much.
yeah, I mean, more or
The guys
less.
that are living together that are sober.
Yeah, I mean, more or less,
Right?
yeah.
Like, here's what you make
We
it.
just had it made because it's, yeah, whatever.
Yeah,
Get
yeah, a
into
little
it.
bit better situation than most.
But yeah, I guess really that was.
Yeah.
But I mean, that you have it built into where the fuck you're living.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, right.
But still, I mean, sometimes, you know, people get in their head and not willing to fucking voice that shit that's going on, you know, like if, like you guys just both said, if you're just willing to be like, hey man, like what the fuck, like, is, like, right now I'm feeling like, fuck it, like, there's no point to this shit, and if I brought that to any of you guys, or any of these guys in this, or the other building, you know, I know damn well you'd be like, well, slow the fuck down, alright, like, for one, like, chill out, like, what the fuck, you know, like, what the fuck is going on, and we talk about it, and after a few minutes, I'd probably be like, oh yeah, okay.
Oh, you're right.
Emotions are the worst fucking decision makers
Yeah.
on earth. I know as
Yes.
addicts, it's fucking horrible.
And that's another thing that I think like we kind of overlooked on the topic tonight. Like if you're at the point where you're like, what the fuck is the point? Okay, there's probably something going on emotionally that
You need to calm the fuck down.
you need to calm the fuck down and like talk to somebody and you know use your support group or you know
Go to a meeting, man.
go to a
Whatever.
meeting, just talk to a sponsor,
There's so
talk
many
to a
different
mentor,
avenues,
you
yeah.
know, like whatever it is, man. There's all these
Get out of your own
coping
fucking head,
skills,
basically.
exactly. Get out of your
Yeah.
head. Talk to
You
somebody.
ain't the first one to fucking be in that, what the fuck's the point?
Not the first
You
one.
won't be the last.
The last.
You know, and if you see it through, then you're gonna be that person that somebody else is gonna be calling when they hit that
When
3
they hit
months.
that,
They're
what the
like,
fuck?
What the fuck's the point?
Right,
Well,
I got
this
you.
is the point. I made it through it, you can make it through
Right.
it.
Yeah. And like you pretty much just said, yeah, then you can be somebody else's fucking roadmap or guide or
Yeah.
whatever the fuck you wanna call it.
Voice of reason.
Voice of
Yeah,
reason.
I don't know how many times I've had, yeah, me and him, you have had that talk, and I'm telling you, you know, impulsive decision making based on immediate fucking emotions
Yeah.
always leads to fucking chaos.
Fuck, even 6 months ago.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, it never fails.
But it's funny though,
Never
even now,
prove me
like,
wrong
you're,
with that.
when I fucking am ready to flip, you're the one I always go to.
Yeah, I mean,
I mean, I have with you too, I think
Like I
that
said.
situation, I talked to you and then you,
yeah,
but.
we'll talk about, I mean, like, I don't know, I've learned recently, I forget, I think it was Jordan Peterson, right, that said, emotions is the absence of intelligence.
Yep.
And it's
Yeah.
like,
That's
that's the
fucking
truest
accurate.
fucking statement I've ever heard, and if you're
Yeah.
like, what the fuck is the point? There's probably some emotions going on.
Yeah.
That's fogging your brain of like, you know what the point is, like, you know what you fucking started doing this for, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
there's probably something else going on there.
I think
Yeah,
every
we
time
do
I
adjust.
asked or thought, what the fuck is the point, I was looking for a reason to say fuck it and go do something awful.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's
Right,
like
so
the
there was
baseline
some
emotion.
emotions
Yeah.
there that you
Oh, yeah.
fucking-
Absolutely, that was my
Well,
point,
yeah,
basically.
that's what I mean, so it's like,
Yeah, Chad Wright in that video you sent me the link to yesterday, he pointed that out that when he was on a mission and he had two of his leaders, one was running around like a chicken with its
Yeah,
head cut
good
off.
story.
yeah, I
And-
like that one.
He was letting himself be fueled by his emotions, and then the other one was thinking logically,
And he said,
and
yeah, it's
he
like
saved
cool,
him,
calm,
collected, and
Yeah.
he saved all of their lives by setting his emotions aside and focusing on the mission at hand.
Calmly talking to the fighter pilots above.
Yeah.
No, it's a great video. I don't know, it's a 30-minute rough short of Real AF. If anybody want to watch it, I highly recommend it on Code and Creed.
It was
It's, you
Blew
search
me away.
Real AF Chad with 2 D's right, you will find it. Definitely a good thing to watch.
Great fucking video. I
Like
love
Jesus.
listening to that dude talk too.
That guy's inspiring as fuck, man.
He is so
He's got the best
intense.
beard I've ever seen.
I'm
in my life.
right.
I'm trying, man.
Alright guys, anybody got any closing thoughts on this topic?
No, that was good, guys.
Yeah, I think kind of drifted around, but it was all pertinent.
Yeah.
I had fun, so that's
Yeah.
all I give a fuck this year. We hope all you get something out of it. And seriously, that video, if you're kind of wandering around lost in any way, check it out because it's inspiring and it also teaches you how to find a code, or he calls it a creed, to fucking live by. I think that shit's important. So, well, I don't know. That being said, I guess we'll see you next week. Probably
next
be
week.
us and anybody else that decides that has time to join us. Cool. Whatever you may have, we'll be here because that's who the fuck we are these days.
Yeah, why the fuck not?
See you next week.
See you guys.
Good night.